Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm a day late once again. Last week I filmed on Wednesday, which normally I do on Tuesday, and again this week it's going to be on Wednesday. I don't know, here lately my Tuesdays have just been getting away from me. My name is Sherry Minnie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in a small rural town called Keensburg, Colorado, and we're about 45 minutes northeast of Denver. Today we are having a beautiful, wonderful spring day with nice temperatures. I apologize for the quality of my videos. Sometimes I get lots of shadows. I'm not an expert at this, so the lighting sometimes causes me issues. But anyway, today we're going to do a card. Simple, quick, shouldn't take us very long at all. It is, I've made it into kind of an encouragement or thinking of you type card. And it's using a stamp set and some papers that are unfortunately going to be retiring soon. So this is our card, and I will show you the products that we are using. We are using a set that is being retired. This is called Memorable Blooms. It is on the last chance list, and you can go to my online store at sherrymini.stampinup.net and you can purchase this bundle, and it is only while supplies last. And we're going to be using the You've Been on My Mind, and then from the dies we'll be using this little leaf right here, and I hope to get some more use out of this. I'm trying to use up things that I haven't used very much or at all before they actually retire. Then we're going to use a new set. This is actually one of the online exclusive that came out in let's see, March, I guess. And it's called Thankful Garden. It's a beautiful set, and I'm hoping it stays around because I haven't played with it much. And we also have, with this comes some masks where you can make these beautiful flowers and do all the shading and everything, and they look beautiful. And then here is the stamp set, or the die that goes along, and this is a bundle. We'll also be using a standby of mine, the Exposed Brick Embossing Folder. And this one is being carried over. We've had it for a couple of years, so I was kind of surprised, but it's very popular, and I do use it a ton. We will be using a stamp set to the point, and this is also carrying forward, and it is a very fun one and very adaptable to any kind of card that you're making. We'll be using only one ink color, Night of Navy, and then I'm using a blend just to kind of highlight and go around. I don't know if it shows on the camera, but it kind of goes around our little sentiment on the front. And then I just pulled out some embellishments. You could choose whatever you want. I'm sure these have been retired, but they do have the blue, and that's what I wanted. So I think that's it for the supplies. In your packet, you'll have a envelope as usual. You'll have a boho blue card base. This is one of the in colors that is going out, so I have a lot of this left, so I'm trying to use it up. It is our normal 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 in the middle for your card base. You'll have two pieces of basic white. These are 4 by 5 1/4. One I have done the embossing on, and I think you probably can see that. And then one is plain for the inside. You'll have a small piece or scrap of basic white to do your stamping on. You'll have a 4 1/4 by 2 1/4 piece of Night of Navy, and then in the designer series paper, and this is called, let's see, what is this one called? Timeless Plaid, and unfortunately it's going away, and I wish it weren't because it's a nice plaid, but it can be really great for masculine cards, but it will be leaving us. And then you'll have a scrap of Night of Navy to cut out our little leaf detail. So to get started, I think we're going to do our stamping first. This is Night of Navy. It's quite dark, and it does sometimes get on my fingers, unfortunately. So we're going to stamp the You've Been on My Mind in the front. And then the other thing we're going to stamp is our inside piece. Very minimal stamping. I have this mounted on my Stamparatus just because it sometimes with just a single line stamp, it's very easy. It doesn't want to stamp as well, and sometimes I even struggle doing it with this, but I thought it would help a little bit. So we'll give it a shot. And I'm gonna put a stamp case under the lid here just to kind of give me a little reinforcement. And we will ink this up, and I'll try not to get ink everywhere on this little lid. There we go, not too bad. So we're done with that part. Now there's one other little bit to stamp, and that is we're just going to do a little, what do I want to say, leaf detail, flower detail to kind of dress up the inside. You always want to make your insides of your card as pretty as the outside, as the front. And I'm also going to do the same thing on the envelope. And I think that is it for our stamping. Hope you're all doing well. We're doing pretty well. My husband was supposed to have his second cataract surgery tomorrow. Unfortunately, he woke up with a cold this morning, and so therefore it's going to have to be canceled. And I have no idea how long that might take because you know how it is to get doctor's appointments. So we're going to use our punch to the point, and I'm just going to kind of squeeze it down, just partially close, line it up, make sure I have it straight, or at least what looks straight to my eye. Which is not always the best eye to be lining up with, but it's what I've got. Okay. And we are done with that. Then I'm going to take my little, this is a Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to take the brush end of this, and I am just going to go around the edges, being careful not to tip my pen too much and get too big of a glob on the front of my piece here. A lot of people call this edging. You can sometimes do it. You can do it with your stamping pad by just rubbing your edge along your stamping pad, but this has those little niches, points on the front, and I thought maybe this would work a little better to catch those. That's all there is for that. I'll put that over here to let it dry. The Night of Navy ink does take a little bit of time to dry. So hopefully this is done. We'll take this and get it on the inside of our card. Hope you all everywhere are having some spring weather and enjoying it and having a chance to get outside. I'm not much of an outdoor person. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I have some pretty severe allergies, and boy, it doesn't take me long to start carrying on once I get outside. But I do go out occasionally. I'm going to set this in there and try to keep our margins relatively even. Okay. Now we will take our emboss piece, and we're going to put this on the front of our card. And to do that, I'm going to use my liquid green cap glue, I call it. It's really Tombow Multi Mono Liquid Glue. But I just call it the green cap glue because that's too much to say at one time. So I'm going to just do this with that because when you emboss, you have all these little nooks and crannies, and you want to make sure you get glue and adhesive down in there. And I just prefer to do the liquid glue. Okay. And this is going to go on the front. Again, trying to get even margins. Press it down good. And then we will work on putting these two pieces together. And I'm going to put my lid back on here because I think I'm done with, oh no, yeah, I am. Okay, we'll just put some Stamp and Seal. Well, hopefully I can. Put that on there. And we will be using dimensionals on this to put it to the front of our card. So this is the only place that I really raised anything up. Seems impossible that Easter will soon be here, and it's even very late this year for normally we have it earlier in April or even the very end of March. Take all our little backing pieces off. Oops. And then we will take this and I'm going to put it a little bit over to the left so that I have room to put my punched out piece. Kind of center it top to bottom, like so. And then on your Night of Navy scrap, you would take this die, put it on here, run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and when you do that, you get your little focal point like this. And I am going to take this and use my little miniature glue bottle. Hopefully it's going to work for me. Sometimes when they sit, they get kind of clogged up. And it looks like, oh, there it goes. I like them because you can just do a very fine line of glue, and I'm just putting it on the leaves. Just a little bit. You don't need much because you don't want it to ooze out all over everything. That's the reason most people don't like it, because they have a tendency to use too much of it, and it kind of goes everywhere. Okay, I think we're pretty good right there. And I'm going to center this and have this go off the edge just a little bit. And then we'll put on our saying for the front, our greeting for the front. Now, since this piece here is popped up, we want to pop this one up so it'll be level across, but we're only going to put dimensionals on this edge, and then I'll just put some glue on that edge. Because if we put dimensionals all the way around it, then it would be higher than everything else that we have. And here we go. So I'm just going to put a couple right along this edge. Take those off. Then I'm going to take this and put quite a bit of glue along this edge right here. Okay, and then we will place this however you want to Just making sure that it stays pretty straight. Let's see, does that look straight? Doesn't look too bad to my crooked eye. And then we're going to take our dimensionals and we will put a couple right here. And then we will put one kind of up here. Let's see, where do I want to put it? I think I'll put it right there. And you know what? That's it. We are done. Quick card. I will have all the measurements and supplies that I use later at my blog at simplylovestampin.com. And as I say, you can always go to my online store, sherrymini.stampinup.net, if you're interested in any of these products. Here's the card we just completed. And here's my sample that I made for earlier. So thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this. I know your time is very valuable, and I just appreciate when you choose to spend a few minutes with me. May God bless each and every one of you, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.